about test case design, how we can work with this section. TCD or test case design we are using in Tosca to manage our test data, and TCD we are preferring for functional kind of testing. Okay, where functional testing we are using, I hope you are aware about those manual terms, right? Boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning, positive, negative validations. So those kind of validations we are doing with different variation of test data, right? So it is easy to create such kind of data using TCD in Tosca, and this is the section. So we will work in this. We will create a different variation of test data and we will use it into our one of the test case. We will use this TCD on this. This is simple registration test case. Okay, we will fetch data from TCD and use it into this test case. Fine. So what I will do, I will create this test case simple, and I will pick few of the steps, or let me use some other folder. So this is the test case I will work on. It is having simple steps, hard-coded test data. Okay, and we will, whatever hard-coded test data is there reflecting in this test case, we will remove it and we will keep it inside the TCD test case design sheet, and we'll fetch from there. How we can do, we will see now. So now we identify the test case. Yeah, Riti.
Yeah, can I ask one question?
Yes, yes.
So this is like similar to what you mentioned earlier in the that we can also store the data in the test configuration parameters.
No, it is not similar. Test configuration parameters are residing here, right? Inside the test case, there is one tab, TCPs, test configuration parameters. We are specifying test configuration parameters here. There are user defined or predefined configurations, right? Today we are discussing about TCD, test case design, this section. Fine?
Yes.
So we will keep all our test data in TCD, okay, in that sheet, TCD sheet, and we will use it in our test case. Okay, we can keep our test data inside test configuration parameters also, like we did in one of the session. We keep our username, password, and all these things, but that is not the best practice. Ideally, we are keeping, we are using test configuration parameters to, if we are working on multiple environment, let's say right now we are scripting in Q environment or testing environment. Tomorrow you need, or next month, like next week, you need to perform the execution in regression environment, right? Same script, same test case, same set of test case. You need to perform the execution in regression. In those scenarios, in those cases, we are keeping all the details, environment specific details inside the test configuration parameters, and we are switching from one environment to another, because each environment will be having different URL, right? Regression is having different, Q is having different URL, even credential will also be different, right? So those kind of detail we are keeping here in test configuration, and synchronization related we are keeping those kind of details here. If we are working with TDM, test data management, right? That endpoint and all those things we'll cover in further scenarios, further sessions. Okay, so those kind of detail we are keeping here in the TCD, and that too in the project level folder. So because in TDM we are using same TDM database, right, in multiple test cases, so it will be, we are defining it in the root folder, and it will be applicable to all the test cases. Fine. Okay. So we'll discuss that part separately. Today we are just focusing on the TCD part.
Okay.
Fine. Now we identify one test case, and that test case is with us. Okay. What I will do, I will work with this test case now. I'll copy and paste. I don't want to disturb this core test case. I will just rename this test case as using TCD, okay, test case design. Fine. So we identify one test case where we want to implement TCD, and test case design is working on the templates. Okay. So what we will do, this is simple test case. To convert this test case into template, right click on the test case and click on this option, convert to template, and you observe this icon. Okay. After clicking, this icon will come. It is displaying, T is displaying there, right? So now this test case has been converted into the template. Fine. Now we are done. Here we'll go to the test case design section. We'll create our test data, and then we will come back and work on this test, this template. Fine. So as we are working on registration form, let me create. And this is a root folder, right? In test case design section, in this root folder, I am creating our project specific folder. Let's call it as 1 p.m. Fine. And inside this folder, I am creating one sheet, naming it as registration test data. Okay. Fine.
Yes.
Now this is empty sheet for us, and in this sheet we will fill all the required test data. What data we need? If you go back and check the template, we need test data. We want this test data for URL, okay, where we are putting some data. We want that data should be fetched from the TCD for first name, last name, email, and for the password also, confirm password also. Okay, these 5 to 6 fields we need. Okay, so all these fields we will specify there, and we will store data there only in TCD. Now this is empty sheet for us, and what I will do, right click on this and click on the attribute, create attribute, this icon, and whatever fields we need test data for URL and this first name, last name we identified, right? Here also this attribute I will give same name. Let me call it as URL. This attribute belongs to this field. Okay, I will map it later on. I created this for this field. Okay, inside this sheet we are calling it as attribute. Fine. So let me create these attribute for all the fields. I need one for first name, last name, one email was there, password and confirm password. Okay. So I created these attributes. Attribute is nothing but a label, okay, of all the fields for which we want to keep data inside the TCD. Fine. So we capture all these fields. We cover all the fields, and now attributes are like just for label specific, just for representation specific, but we are not keeping data inside the attribute, we are keeping inside the instances. So to create instance inside the attribute, right click on that individual attribute and click on this icon, create instance. Okay, and I will give the value inside this. Okay, here should be the exact URL which I want to use. Let me copy it from here. We'll paste it there. Here in this instance, I put the data there now. Fine. Similarly, for first name, it is empty right now. This attribute is empty. I need to specify data. Data I will enter inside the instances. Okay. For each attribute, there should be one instance to keep the data. Data will basically store inside the instances only in TCD. So first name, I can give some name here. Let me call it as Tosca only, and for last name also I will create one more instance. Okay, Tosca training, and email, again one instance I need to create. And what I will do, I will randomize this email, so again and again there will not be any manual intervention, just specifying the length there. Okay, for password we'll give some password also. Value will be inside the attribute only.
So test case design we are using for all positive and negative, but the test cases where we created the flow of the application, you mean?
Correct. Test case will be having test step level details, right? What is the flow of the application?
Okay,
And
just like
in this scenario, we are fetching data using TCD. We'll fetch data from there. We'll not keep anything hard coded at step level. Okay, these hard coded value we will remove. Okay,
but we have created as business parameter also in the library. So we are not hard coded, no?
yes, but see, in business parameter also you are keeping only once, right? If you are
Yes.
using business parameter, still you are using only one variation of test data. If
Yes.
you are using it, you need to create multiple test cases with different variation of test data. Here, the
Yes.
advantage is we scripted this test case only once. Okay, we convert it into template. Okay, and we will create a number of test cases based upon the variation of test data. That is the advantage you see here. Okay, right now we are creating only for one instance. Okay, the variation is only one, right? Till now only one value we given. Okay, we will execute this for with one variation, and later on we will increase the variations, and you can see the difference there. Now for each attribute, these are the attribute, this icon belongs to attribute, and inside each attribute we specify the instances also, and we put the required data. Fine. Now we are done with this, and at sheet level also we should create one attribute. Okay, so at sheet level attribute will click on this same create instance. Okay, so sheet level we are again creating one instance. Okay, this instance will be displaying as a column in the right side, right, like it is showing. So this instance as for attribute also we were creating, and it was taking this name, okay, as a default name. You can change this also. Let me call it as variation 1. Okay, this is variation 1 for us. Okay, and for this variation 1 belongs to one test case. Okay, in that test case I just want to use this data. So whatever data we are specifying in the instances, okay, will reflect here in this gray color. If you click on this drop down, whatever data we specify in the instances inside this, right here,
Yeah.
we will be able to select it from here only. Okay, and now I select it. For one instance I specify all the data. Okay, and this data will be used for one iteration because there is only one variation of test data. Fine, now I am done with all the test data. I specify all attribute and their respective instances. Okay, go back to the test case section. As this test case we already converted into template, because test case sheet will be always be mapped with the template only. Okay, you can't map this sheet with the test case That's why we convert this test case into template. And you know how to convert this test case to template, right? Right click and convert to template. That's it. Now this sheet need to map with the template. Okay, I map it with this template. Okay, after mapping, I'm done with the mapping, and you see this property will also update. Okay, so what it is showing, the schema name named as a registration test data, okay, has been mapped with this template. Fine, let me undo and I will show you again. You keep your eye here. Okay, schema definition. After mapping, this field, this property will update. You can take it outside and do the mapping. Drag it and drop it on the template. Fine, let it me roll it back and you observe that schema definition came back. Okay, so that mapping will be done by dragging and dropping only. If still there could be number of test sheet based upon your project, right? So if you want to identify which sheet is mapped with this, which test data sheet is mapped with this template, right click, jump to the schema definition. It will take you to the respective sheet which is mapped. Okay, in case you need to modify something, you can change and then come back. Fine, now we are done with the mapping also. We create all the attributes, instances, right? Sheet level instance also we created. Come back to the template, we did the mapping also. Now click on the template and now you see in the test cases tab, this icon is displaying, right? Click on this icon. Okay, confirmation pop-up will come. Click on yes, and one folder has been created. Okay, you see how many test cases are there in this folder? Only one, because we used only one variation till now. And if you want to check which data it should capture, right now it will not show because we did not do the field level mapping. Okay, it is showing all the hard-coded value because we did not remove the hard-coded values. Ideally, we should do one more thing. Let me roll it back. Okay, let me roll it back. Okay, I will remove this instantiation also. And at sheet level, okay, we did not specify, instruct the script for this field. Okay, that sheet is mapped with the template, but field level mapping also required. Okay, so how to do this mapping? Let me delete this hard-coded data here from the step. Okay, and I will go back to the template. Okay, for this field, URL field, I want to fetch data from this attribute. Okay, just dragging and dropping onto the respective field. It will create one link. Okay, keyword is curly bracket Excel and that particular attribute name. Attribute name was URL. Fine. Same thing we will do for other fields. For Tosca, I select that row, click on delete and map this first name field with the respective field. Last name also. Now what I will do, rather than dragging and dropping, I can type also. I know the keyword is XL. Okay, select it and start the square bracket. It will show all the fields, all the attribute names. Okay, you need to select your respective attribute which you want to map with for this particular field, last name. Okay, I selected that and come out of this. For email also we want, right? We want one that email. Okay, I'm using cardinality here, so I will clean like deleting that respective text and using Excel and the email, right? That's it. Here we are buffering, will not change anything. For password also, let me change, let me drag and drop. Okay, here I will drag and drop anything out, you can drag and drop or you can type also, both the ways I told you. I should delete this. Okay, sorry. Dragging and dropping into the respective field. Multiple time I did, I think. So now it is fine, right? There should not be unnecessary space and all. That only I'm checking here. And for confirm password also, we'll do same. Confirm password, dragging and dropping that respective attribute. Okay, I'm done with this sheet. Now I keep it back, and now all field level mapping is also done in the test case template. Okay, this mapping, field level mapping, will always be done at the template level. Fine. After doing this mapping, okay, we will instantiate the template, confirm it, and now you see one folder has been created with one variation of test data, and that data will be fetched. So this is the actual data will be consumed during the execution. Okay, for this also you see whatever data we specify there in the TCD will be consumed. For email we mention the random value. Okay, so whatever data we specify there will be consumed during the execution. So if I push this folder inside the execution list, and we'll see the execution now. Let me push this folder. I'm dragging and dropping this folder inside the Excel execution list. Fine, and you see that test case is also displaying there. We can perform the execution. So that random email generated. Okay, and we are done with this execution. In test step, I think we are waiting for a few more seconds. Previously we scripted this, and it performed the execution, and you can see the execution results also. Fine. So whatever test data was there is reflecting now. Okay, now as of now we were having only one set of test data, and we created test data for only one variation. If you want for multiple variation of test data, let me will increase, we will put the additional test data here. Let's put one more instance for I will give this first name as Anju and Riti. For last name also will I'm just I don't remember the last name, so I'm just randomly I'm giving. I'm sorry for that. Okay. I think this should be fine, or B and J. Okay. Last name. Okay. Email we will use same email only in multiple test cases. Random email only. Will not hard code it. Password also we will not change. Okay. We will use similar password. So I can use it in multiple instances. How we can use, we'll see now. So now I'm having three different variations here. and I need to create same number of instances at the sheet level also to to cover all the variations. So one is already there. So what I will do, I will create two more variations and naming it as variation 1, 2 and 3. You can name it as per your project business flow or whatever business sense you want. You can name it accordingly. Fine. Now we are having three different columns, right? First column we already specify what data we want. In second also we are using same URL, so I will keep it same. Third also I will keep same. First name, okay, first name having three different instances right now, right? I will use one and now all the instances I used, whatever I defined in three respective variations, and using last name also. Random email in all three instances I want to use random email only. I don't want to hard code. If you want, you can specify your respective variation wise separate email. So if you want to confirm what data it will pick, we will come to know by using this first name last name only. So that's why I did not specify more details there. Using random email, same password and confirm password. Fine. Now we are having three set of test data. Okay, three different variations are there. As we make some changes at the sheet level now, okay, we need to come back. Okay, click here and reinstantiate this. Okay, what will be the advantage to reinstantiate? Because we make some changes, whatever changes are there in the sheet level, okay, the tool will synchronize that, okay, and create the different iterations based upon the modification of data. Right now all three variations you will be able to see here. In first variation we were using first name as Tosca only, first name last name. Second variation we were using names, right? You see names are there, rest things I make it almost the same. Third variation we were using one more name, right? Riti is there, you see Riti Banerjee. Fine. So that variation is captured here. Fine. Now if you again yes,
I have one question. So
yeah,
here in this, when we are using the TCD approach, then after this instance, after this folder is getting created, here as well as in the execution list, we are able to see the actual names, right? So like this
yes,
cannot
yes.
be, I mean the hard-coded names actually. So this cannot be encrypted or cannot be.
This can be encrypted. There is a different method to encrypt
Oh,
that. Yeah, we can encrypt it. See, in one of our project, our client don't want to see this data in the report also.
right.
So we encrypt that. Okay, there is different method to encrypt all the things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier we were using this, what was it called, the
Those,
parameter?
yes, yes. So here also, see, as of now, this is plain test case, right? I pick the plain test case. Here, you can do same thing as an assignment. You take it. What you do first for this test case, this is core test case, right? You convert this test case into library. Okay, use RTB, create business parameters. Okay, and then do all this mapping, whatever mapping we did at step level, right? You do this mapping, that Excel mapping I'm talking about. Where is that mapping? This one. This mapping you do in the business parameters. Okay, and pick the value. Step level you put to fetch the value from business parameter. What is the keyword?
PL.
PL. Perfect.
Yeah,
So
okay.
use PL there at the test step level. So that also you can do. Okay, when we'll create the framework, we will do that only. So we will do this mapping in the business parameter only, and here we will fetch the value using PL tag. Okay, so the whatever data is there will not be visible. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
we will do that. We will do that later on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
right now, just I want to focus on this concept, so I did not use the library. Okay, otherwise there will
Yes,
be
that's
additional
fine.
layer which could be confusing. So
Yes. Yes.
I am not going through that. So
No, no, I
now
just wanted to know if it is possible
possible,
to include
definitely
in
it
the
is
TCD
possible.
format.
It is
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now
Okay. Thank
the yeah, welcome. So now you got it based upon the variations. Same number of so see number of test case got created. All steps are the same, but the difference is with the test data only. Fine. Now we did the reinstantiation here. After that, we push this folder inside this, but folder is having only one. We need to synchronize this. Let me synchronize, so it will be sync in the execution list also. Right click and click on the synchronize. Rest of the two additional test case also updated here. Now we can execute. So now three iteration, as there were having three variation of test data, three iteration will execute in this execution list. All three will be having different set of test data. And we scripted only one test case, which we convert into template. So the advantage is same test case will be like this script has written multiple test cases based upon the test data only. Okay. So those negative kind of validations are possible using TCD. Okay. N number of variation we can keep in the TCD and we can perform the execution. Now test this execution got failed maybe because of some synchronization issue or some other issue, but let me re-execute. There is no issue in the script. I should log out. Okay, it should be handled. Okay, we will handle it in some other time. Okay, just executing now. So you keep an eye and see the first name, last name. It should be different. There only mostly we are varying the data. Other things I think are same only. So this was the first iteration using Tosca and training as the first and last name. In second iteration, I used names. You see that. Right? So this was the second iteration. The third iteration. Fine. If you want, you can see the results. Let me expand this and you see all details are there. Okay, and if we are using PL tag, right, using library, keep all this data in the business parameter. You try that, okay? Otherwise, tomorrow we will do this. Okay, and there is right now, as we use both the methods, using manually all these activities and automatically also, everything will be done. Most of the thing will be done in the TCD. Right now, manually we were doing all the things, right? So other methods also we will cover. Okay, first you do it. This is the comparatively longer path, but it will be good initially if you do this to be familiar with the process, how things are flowing, right? How data is flowing and how these variations are generating. If you do it manually, it will be good to know all this process. Okay. Tomorrow we will use some other methods also. Okay, and also we can do similar thing using library. Okay, we can merge both the things actually. Fine, we will do that merging in when we will create the framework.
So in Tosca, we also create the framework. And what kind of a framework? Like
Framework is simple, where we will fetch the data from the TDM. Right now we are mapping it with TCD, right?
yeah.
Okay, we will do similar activity when we will work with the SAP application. Okay, we will
Okay.
scan, we'll create similar test cases in SAP for end-to-end flow. Those test cases will script like a regression suite. So first test case outcome will be the second test case in input. Okay, in that
Yeah.
we will implement TDM. Okay, and we will keep our test case sequence also. So it will be act as a regression suite execution. Okay, that folder structure, naming convention, fetching data using best practice, I am calling it as framework full package. Okay, where we are like most of the things how we are working in actual project. Okay, using library, on top of that TCD. Okay, so all the things as a best practice. Okay, that thing I am calling it as a framework. That is, if you are talking about Selenium, it will be considered as data driven framework, right?
Mm.
We are guiding all the things with the test data.
Yes.
So yeah,
Here we have any name for framework, or just like we call only the framework?
here we can use BDD and other things also. So
Mm.
this kind of framework, you can say it is not purely data driven, it is a hybrid, right? We are using some keywords also there,
Yeah.
right? So it
Mm.
is hybrid framework.
Mm.
Hmm? Yeah.
Okay.
So, Harshit, like in QTV also, this data-driven
Yes,
approach
yeah,
and
these frameworks are common. Even BDD we can create with QTP also, data driven also. These are the common practices uh, covered by most of the automation tools.
Harsh, just one question. Can you, I mean, maybe you have already said it before, but what is the difference between TCD and TDM?
TCD, see, TCD we discussed today. TCD is one of the section inside the Tosca. Fine. TCD is preferable for functional kind of automation where we need different variation of test data. TDM is test data management, which is using test data services to fetch and push the data into the DB. Okay, TDM will not be visible inside it is not part of the Tosca commander, right? We are working inside the Tosca commander, this one, right? TDM is separate thing which will be coming with the Tosca server. When we install the Tosca server, we are configuring the TDM also there. Okay, in
Yes.
Tosca server, one DB will be coming by default. Okay, DB name is data. Okay, so we will use that data. We will use that database to keep to store our data, test data, and we will use the test data services to fetch and push the transactional data in that. Okay, so both are different things, and the usage is also different.
Okay, so like TCD can be used as you mentioned in like for functional test case or functional automation, right? Where we are using different variations of
Correct.
test
Ideally,
cases.
yes, yes.
Okay, so TDM is useful in regression
Correct.
automation. Okay.
Yes, yes. In regression only we are using end-to-end testing, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So TDM is better approach to use for regression automation.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see the difference also. Here we created different variation of test data, and you see how tool is taking that and how tool converts same test case into multiple number of test cases depending upon the variations. Today we use three variations, and
Yes.
tool created three number of test cases, right? And if you are using 100 variation, it will create within like one, few minute only, it will create 100 number of test cases, but all test step will be same, right? There will not be any variation, only data variation will be there,
Great.
right? Yeah. In TDM, tool will not do like that. Okay, so whatever data we are using, we are keeping there in the database, will consume that data, but using that we can push the transactional data inside the TDM. So end-to-end validation, end-to-end execution is convenient using TDM.
Okay.
Yeah, any other question?
Like once we create this template, right? We cannot change the test steps inside this template, right?
Should not, because it will impact all the test cases.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Okay, and even in my one of my section, someone was telling if after instantiating, can we delete this? Ideally, we should not delete. If we delete this template only keeping the address of the sheet, right? Sheet is mapping
Okay.
with this template.
Mm.
Okay, if we delete this, from where the test cases will get the address, right? Even field level mapping is also done in the template only.
Right.
All this field mapping is also done in template. At step level, you see only data is displaying, because these test cases are related with the template. They come to know, okay, for this template, this is the attribute name where they need to go at this sheet inside the inside the TCD, okay, and pick the data from here. Okay, so all the address, all the details are with the template only. Template is the core. Okay, so we should maintain it. If you
Right.
make anything, if you change anything, you need to reinstantiate, and it will impact all the test cases. Okay. So ideally, we are doing this at the end when our test case is working fine, stable. Okay, there is no changes required, only test data variation purpose. We are using TCD, map it, and then instantiate it and run this number of test cases. And after execution also, if you want, you can make any changes in the data level. Like we executed same sheet using one variation, and later on we make the changes, right? And
Yes.
we reinstantiate it after making changes, and this sheet and this execution list also we synchronize. So everything synced and execute with the latest data.
Mm.
I hope you are getting the purpose of using TCD, how to use it. Okay, so try,
Yes.
practice it, and then come back with your queries.
That means when the test case, I mean the test steps are not changing and we are only changing the test data,
Correct.
then only this test
It
case
is useful. Yes.
design is
Yes.
useful. Yes.
See,
Otherwise,
if
if there is any changes in the test step level,
hmm,
then
ideally
we have to change
we should
the
make the
original.
changes. Yes, we should make the changes. Okay, then we should convert this test case into template and then proceed with the that sheet level mapping and all.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine then. Any other question?
Yes, that means like the mapping, then if there is any changes in the test step level, then ideally the whole sheet needs to be again remapped.
See, if you want to make some changes here, you can try. What I will do
Let's say in the
here,
registration form we
let me
want to
add
change.
one step here. Okay, in the template. Now I'm trying that.
Okay.
We will add one step. Wait. Okay, and before closing browser, I will add this step for 3 seconds. In the template, if I change it, okay, right now it will not reflect inside the test steps. Okay, it's not reflecting there, no?
No.
So now let me reinstantiate it, okay, and let's see if it is reflecting there. Now you see the updated step from the template is also captured inside the all the test cases, okay. But if you make any changes in TCD as well as in template, you need to reinstantiate it.
Okay, only adding a test step is like possible then. I mean,
Means
if there are no changes in the test sheet level, I mean,
Steps level.
still even sheet level also we make the changes, no? At sheet level we make the changes initially. Earlier we same sheet we map it once and we ran it with variation 1 initially, first iteration, right? Later on we add two more fields, right? And then we reinstantiate it, everything
okay.
synced properly, right? Now in template we make some changes, it is reflecting here, but it will not reflect here until we synchronize it. We should synchronize this also. So in the next iteration we are expecting the modified step should also be considered. We'll see. This is second
The
iteration.
second one.
Fine, if you want to see the step level, if additional step is considered, it is considered.
T1 split, yeah.
In all the steps, in all that like iterations.
Variations.
So everything is synced. Okay, any other question?
No, not from my side currently.
Okay, Anju?
No, I will practice and then because I understand the concept, but still I need to practice if I get any error or something.
Sure. Okay then, fine, we'll wind up this call.